Welcome back, guys, to the channel. My name is Casper, and today we're going to go through gold, silver, oil, all the good stuff, platinum, the 10-year, the Dixie, and we will see where we are. It's been a while since we have looked at it, so yeah, let's see how it has been ever since. As always, follow me on Twitter, YouTube, please. I highly appreciate it. And always, as you know, this is not financial advice by any means. This is just my take on the market. And leave comments below, and let's see where we are. We will start with silver. I only have 10 charts, 12 charts for today, so I might spend a bit more time on them. I hope you like that. So where are we now? Just a quick recap on the charts. As you can see here, we had the 2020 highs, and now we have created a long-term trend line coming down here, the red one. Yes, we have the silver squeeze high here. I know, but I will leave that out because it was some sort of a fluke. Well, not a fluke, but it was a very big news event driven high here. So let's not take that into account. And where are we now? You can see the big green support here at 22. You can see the tags all the way around, all the way across here. We have some dips below, but still 22 is a big level. And currently we are in this formation here, which I'm looking at ever since it were created. And I hope that the 22 level will hold and we will bounce off here in some way at the lowest point, both from the lower golden trend line coming here and yeah, that's how I want to see it. We have the 3 spikes low now, so the lows could be in, but still we need to break above here and form a good base above the 23. Then we have a chance to have the final go here at the red resistance. So this would be the 4th time, and as you know, the 4th time is often where we break through. So that's very exciting, to be honest. Obviously, if the 22s doesn't hold and we break down from here, both from the golden but also from the green zone, then we have a lot more downside to come. How low? I don't know, to be honest, but we will have to wait and see what happens there. Could also be a fake out, often, but still, at that point, it's a different take. And for now, I expect a bounce here very shortly. Let's look at gold. Good old gold, looking quite good, to be honest. Quite similar. We have the 2020 high here, and then we have yet another pounce, and then another punch at the 2070 level for gold, 2075, depending on where exactly you draw the line, but still, let's call it 2070. And the other white here is the 2011 high. And why is that important? Let me show you. We have the high here connecting a red trend line, which we can make green because it's support. And currently, after we were rejected here, we are now in a bullish pennant here. That's very good to see into the green support from here, but also the 2011 high, which I find very encouraging that we are flagging down to that level. And if we can break above here, it could happen this week above the 22, above the 20, the daily 20 MA, and also breaking out of the wedge here. I think actually we have a 4th go at this level. And as we looked at on silver, the 4th time you break or you touch a very significant trend line or a level is often where you break through. So expect a lot of volatility here when we break above, because people will short it above, and yeah, just expect a lot of volatility because it's such a major level. But gold here, just look at the weekly. I mean, it's not that bad, right? This is the high, as you can see. It's not that bad. Again, to the downside, if we lose the 2011 high, also the 30 weekly coming here, and the green support obviously getting down to, let's call it below 1900s, then we are looking for a lot more downside in the shorter term here. So we are at a pivot point, in my view, for gold and silver. You can see here clearly. But I'm very excited, to be honest, to see if this really is the time where we will hold here and go up. So exciting times. And on that note, we will look at this gold to silver ratio and what is the gold to silver ratio doing right now. Again, it's been a while since we have been looking at it, so let's see. Let's have a look. Let's go to the weekly first just to get some longer overview. We have the 2020 March 2020 highs here where the gold to silver ratio reached almost 130 in a big blow off move, as you can see. And scrolling forward to today, we are in this expanding bearish formation here. And I expect that where we are right now and what we have been working on for the past 20 months or so, almost 2 years, is the left shoulder, the head, and the right shoulder here. And right now, as you can see, we are in a bearish flag or bear pennant, depending on what terminology you want to use. And if we break down from the pennant, it's my take that this will also be where we break down from here. Again, look at it. Just look at here. We have 1, 2, 3. Again, we are now going for a possible fourth time on this very important long-term trend line coming up here. So a fourth time again, and then we will go down to this, the neckline, get some jittering, and then in my view, we will go all the way down to 60, 62, 60, 60, depending on where you want to draw it, but just above 60. If this plays out the way I think it will, that's the highest probability. And if that happens, of course, that's also where, like we just looked at on gold and silver, where we will break through the highs and the downtrend line for silver. So yeah, very exciting times. And we can actually zoom out a bit here. I want to show you something also. Look at this bad boy right here. Similar to the head and shoulders over here, we have yet another big, quite skewed, but still longer term head and shoulders. Amazing, right? And what does that one point to? I think if we do a measured move, we have a very good alignment. This needs to go there with exactly the 2011 lows for this ratio, meaning the highs for gold and silver. And how it adds up here is just, it's perfect. So I think when this plays out, it will play out in my view. You don't get me to say that very often, but I think this is just, the chart is so clean, and I think this will happen one way or the other. So can you imagine what will happen when we get down to the gold to silver ratio at around 30? I think at that point, the measured move for gold, which is 3K, we will be at 3K right here. And yeah, if you have a 30-to-1 ratio, then you have roughly $100 silver at that point in time. So yeah, exciting times. I think it looks good. You just need patience. I know it's you've heard that a lot, but still, that's how I see it. So looking good, looking good. Let's look at the bearish side for gold and silver, meaning this ratio goes up. We will yeah, obviously, if we take out the high here, the left shoulder, and we break out to the upside here, right? We have the trend line coming down. If we do that like this, then obviously gold and silver will tank big time. But that also means that the overall markets, whatever you're into, will tank big time because this is also where the dollar will go up heavily. So we have to wait and see if that will happen. But again, these setups here favors a move to the downside and to gold and silver to go up. Not bad, eh? Not bad, eh? I'm a Canadian all of a sudden. Okay. This is platinum. Let me show you the long term, just to show you how cheap platinum actually is. We're looking back 15 years right here, and you can see how many times we have actually been trading below 800. Right? It happens very rarely. We have a big spike here, obviously the 2020 lows, 2020, the March 2020, big spike below. But still, every time we get to 800 and below, it snaps right back up. And right now we are at 900, more or less. Right here, 900. So still, I cannot see a case, given that we have actually crashed it here. You know, this is the end of this bear market here, the big capitulation, and now we had a snapback. I cannot see any way that we will get below the 800 again. I mean, anything can happen, but the chances are very slim. And platinum here is insanely cheap. Looking at the past 3 years, more or less, how I see platinum, go away. Platinum is we are in this expanding bullish pattern here. Excuse me. As you can see, we have an expanding here, breakout, fake out, all the way down again. So what I think will happen is that this will hold. The 900 level will hold. Let me just remove these here. And yeah, we have an inverted head and shoulders with the blue neckline. You could draw it a bit higher, a bit lower, but still at around the 1100, 1150 range, that's where you have the neckline. So we could copy it just to have a zone more or less compared to a line. So we have this zone here for a neckline. So I think that actually we will get a bounce here, and hopefully we can have a pierce through and we go through it here. But yeah, this one we have to wait and see. But we are getting a bounce again at the 900 for platinum, which is it's a good start. But yeah, we need more momentum, obviously. But platinum long term, as mentioned, is one of the cheapest metals there is. And my view for platinum 10 years out will be that we are way higher compared to where we are today. So that's platinum. Okay, let's look at good old oil. I don't want to talk much about oil. And then again, there are some things that we can look into. We have created this long neckline here, the blue one. We have a shoulder head and a teeny beany shoulder over here, quite dull, you can say. But still, that's the bearish move or the bearish overview for oil. So hopefully we will hold this blue neckline here at around $65. And what happened today, or the past week today, you can see here that we are trying heavily to break out from this one. And I think if we can get momentum here, we have a good chance of negating this overall bear flag, or bearish head and shoulders. So you can see here we're peaking out here, which is good signs, but we need to gain some momentum and hopefully not have a false breakout. So oil right here looks it looks good, to be honest. Depending on how you draw it, you can see that we are in some cases breaking out, and in some cases we are barely peaking above. But if you start to see oil really getting some big candles here with the 2-3% days, then it's a valid breakout in my view. And then I think we'll go up at least to 82 once again. So oil right here is has to decide whether we want to go into bull mode or big bear mode, very big bear mode. And if that's the case, if we break down here, in my view, the recession is just around the corner. So let's see. Bitcoin. Okay, we have like this is probably better. Anyways, a big squeeze here. Don't want to go into much details. I have all these doodles all over. So let's just see here. We have this big wedge, as you can see. And ever since we have broken out, retest, and now we are in a flag. Quite bullish, actually. I didn't think that this was going to be the case, but it is what it is. And right now we are just sitting at the big 31K level. Why is 31, let's call it 30 to 31K important? Because you have the lows over here and this big cluster here and the tag. So if we can get above 31, we are in for a big move for Bitcoin. I'm not calling all-time highs because I think the halving and so on is like a year out in the future. But we could get a move up to 40,000 because that's the measured move of this inverted head and shoulders down here. So yeah, there are money to be made for sure. So, but let's follow it and see. Looks very good, to be honest, Bitcoin. The dollar, let's how far do we want to go back? I think we will keep it like this. Okay. We have a trend line, a trend line going down here, all the way down. And we are right now, don't want to spend that much time on the dollar, but right now we are in a bearish formation up here, and we are trying to break down, even though we're backtesting now the underside or the lower side of the red trend line here. So to me, this is a bearish flag pennant, and it will break down, test here, wiggle a bit, and then move down here again. And again, if that happens, that should also be where gold and silver goes up, and Bitcoin breaks to the upside out of what we have just seen. So So yeah, very important moment in time for the DXY. So it's all aligned. I don't know if there is any FOMC meetings in the future very closely, but we'll have to wait and see. Just a quick take here on the 10-year. Look at it. Look at this one here. I want to show you how bullish this actually looks, right? Big lows here in 2020, and then just had a massive run up. And right now we are in a bullish flag. And if we break to the upside here, then it will go a lot higher, and stocks and a lot of things will go down heavily. Obviously, if we cannot take it out, then we are looking for the lower band again. But still, just keep in mind this bear flag here. You can plug it into your chart and follow it. And if we get above, let's call it 3.9, the highs here. Yeah, but I think we might need one more go if it were to break up, because we have 1, 2, and then 3, right? So we need a fourth. But still, for now, it's very bullish for the 10-year. The Dutch nat gas, yeah, big move down. Like a 10, what is it, 90%, 95% drop down here, and now we're breaking out, retesting, and now we're gonna go higher, in my view. When, I don't know, but still, this right here is an overall bullish sign, and we might need some basing, but whatever. But I think nat gas into winter, let's say, call it September, August, September, will start to grind higher. This is for Europe, right? Just like it did last year, and I think the prices will be getting close to at least these lows here, which is 100% away from where we are today. Similar, the US nat gas, this formation we have been looking at for a very long time now, and we're breaking out, and I think we will reach at least 3.5-ish in that range. We have the white trend line, and we're going to kiss it here, and then we will see what happens. So 3.4, 3.5, I think that's where we are going to go. Copper is actually in a very interesting place in time. This is 2-year going back. You can see the white trend line at around 4, which is very important all the way across. You can see, and then we have the tags here. You can just see how $4 is the magnet, whether we are above or below. And we are squeezing into that level. We are squeezing into a very, very important level. And this to me shows that when we leave the squeeze, either to the upside or the downside, that's going to be a very big move in either direction. Downside, again, similar to oil, if we get to the downside, recession is just around the corner. If we break to the upside, that means, in my view, also that oil will be breaking out to the upside, and overall commodities is going up. So look for copper. What's it doing here? Can we get above 4.05-ish? Major bull. Getting below, let's call it 3.5, 3.6, in that range down here. Insanely bearish, right? So these are the zones you should be looking for, and it will decide within 4 weeks, I think. 4 weeks. And yeah, I have one chart just to show you a very big stage 2 confirmation. We have the breakout of the wedge here and a retest of both the 30 weekly, but also the upper golden trend line. In my view, this is a clear sign that we are breaking out higher here. This is in a Nova royalty, NOVR. It's a copper and nickel royalty. So do with this as you please, but still, to me, this is very bullish long-term, a long-term setup. Okay, that's all I had for today. So let me know below, what do you think? Will oil and copper break to the upside or to the downside? I think we will get the answer within 4 to 8 weeks on all the commodities, but in that range, probably sooner than you might expect. But still, we will keep watching. And I think tomorrow, maybe not tomorrow, but Thursday or Friday, we will look into uranium, because uranium is at a very big pivot level right now if you want to break out to the upside hugely. As we looked at in the video 2 days ago, I think it was. Anyways, have a look at it. Okay, guys, and girls for that matter. We will see you all in the next video, and stay safe.